Well, I started the business back in 1994 after having worked for Oxford University for 9 years. And as soon as I started working for myself, I started to realise that service was the key thing with any business. So I soon had to start taking on people to provide the level of service that I wanted to give my growing client base.
I chose Heelas to do my plumbing work, primarily to start off with because they were local, but also I'd heard good recommendations about, they were into modern technology, tricky boilers, and their workmanship was great. So, it was a simple choice for it, really, to give them a go.
Well, I was mostly concerned about how effective it would be, because you hear all sorts of stories about renewable energy and it takes years and years to get your investment back. But with the particular challenges we had with our location, being not anywhere near any gas, it really made us think about the whole idea of having alternative source of energy.
We actually had a new water system installed, and we have had a very old system that was 30 odd years old. The new one was designed from our point of view to improve the quality of the heating, distribute heat around the house more effectively, and in terms of the concern, probably the biggest concern initially was the cost. What were we going to be paying for a new installation? Was it going to give it something like a reasonable payback time?
We chose Heelas because we'd had extremely good service from them in putting in new boilers for the house, and the level of efficiency, the promises that were made were all carried out, and we were very happy to use Heelas for the renewable energy source.
I feel where my company differs from other companies is the length of time that we spend on site doing the quote site survey process. And that goes very in depth into the existing heating system and how best it can be upgraded to current regulations, and most of the time up to best practice where the client wants a very high level of system control and efficiency.
I'm always a bit of a sceptic when someone says, spend a couple of grand and you'll save money. It doesn't really sit straight with me, that. But I have to say, go into a new technology boiler, much more efficient. Now I'm 6-8 months in, I'm starting to see the benefits in that, with the modern technology there are available now with iPhones and iPads and all these sorts of things, being able to, note how much gas you're using on a daily basis and plotting graphs. I am using considerably less gas than I was a year ago, so, I'll get my money back pretty quickly. So, yeah, I was wrong to be a sceptic. They were right.
We're certainly saving cost on electricity, and we're expecting this to continue throughout the winter.
The installation went very well, actually, despite the fact that it was a new build and we had to have various different contractors doing different jobs at the same time. So potentially it could have been very challenging. But thankfully it was really very, very smoothly installed and up and running, just at the right time when we needed it, when we moved into the house.
There was a lot of pipe work to put in the roof space, the connection with the tank, and this was all carried out as was stated up front, and we were very happy with the installation.
Previous experience with having workmen in the house is, they don't really take their time and effort to be careful and to look after things. So, that was a given with Heelas. But also, the guys that came around were very friendly. They were, I'm a bit of a pain if I am there when I have people doing some work. I'm a bit, I look over shoulders a lot, and that didn't freak them out. And quite honestly, after 15 minutes of keeping an eye on them, I didn't need to. Their work was detailed, sharp, precise, and they were in and out in a flash.
We feel it's made a major improvement in our life because we've now got a warm house throughout and no cold spots. The way in which the new system operates enables us to check the heat in different rooms, to control the heat in different rooms, and to make sure that we are producing the right amount of heat wherever we need it at the right time.
The benefits were very carefully explained. It's important to understand what is happening to the house, what you need to do in order to put this new efficient system in. It was all explained verbally and in writing and then carried out very efficiently.
I think the customer support and after-sales service at Heelas Heating has provided has been really, really good, because we had several questions about using the system. Although it's not very complicated, we did have to call them out on several occasions just to find a bit of tweaking here and there. And in fact, that's been excellent. And this air source heating pump is quite a low maintenance kind of solution anyway, but that didn't seem to be an issue when we'd asked them to come out and give us a bit of extra tuition, if you like, in how to maintain it.
Couldn't recommend them enough. You know, they've done a great job for me, but also, you know, the aftercare when a few little things have not necessarily gone wrong, but I've maybe set the boiler up wrong, or I need a bit of advice about X, Y, and Z. You know, they're around there in a flash. So you know, the aftercare is great. So yeah, I mean, highly recommended.
With the ever-increasing demand for heating and renewables, we feel with the years of experience we have gained, we are ideally positioned to be able to really help and advise our clients of the best solutions available on the market today to suit their needs.